Friday night before Labor Day, we start our journey. The Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series, powered by North Carolina, as we get set to go from South Charlotte under the lights, Friday night style. The fall season powered by Ortho Carolina. Here on the NFHS Network, welcome in everyone. Corey Hodges, Armand Brody, the entire team, and the big fall journey begins right here tonight at Ardrey Kell High School as the 0-2 Marvin Ridge Mavericks take on the 2-0 Ardrey Kell Knights. And Armand, it's nothing like starting a high school football season. Well, the season's already started, actually, 2 games in. This is game number 3 for each of these teams, and you do it right before Labor Day. The scene is set, and as the kids say, it's lit. Here we go.
Privileged to be with you, Corey, and the excitement is rather palpable for me. Man, football is here, man. Football's here. You and I are here. And this is an exciting time. The Ardrey Kell folks are ready. Marvin Ridge is ready. The Ardrey Kell players, even right now, getting ready to take the field. It should be an interesting game, Corey. And I am very curious to see how things play out here today. I know one thing, though. For me, I'm just sort of caught up in football heaven right now.
Right.
I'm still sort of stuck from last night's college football activity. I don't know how much of West Virginia, Pittsburgh, and Penn State, Purdue you watched, but I'm sort of hoping that that carries over here tonight, and we get a pretty amazing contest between Marvin Ridge and Ardrey Kell.
You know, the season starts, and everyone does get caught up into it, and there's just there's something about high school football especially that sets up that weekend, and again, under the lights as well. You know how it goes, and this place is filling in as we continue to get set. The captain's meeting at midfield, and beautiful facility here at Ardrey Kell. Some of the best in South Charlotte here to watch the Mavericks and the Knights. And these two teams, again, coming in kind of opposite sides of the spectrum. You know how that goes, Armand. We had a chance to speak with both coaches this week. Marvin Ridge has struggled to put points on the board, and unfortunately for them, they have to meet the buzzsaw, as the term goes. The buzzsaw is Ardrey Kell's defense that has just been outstanding.
You're right about that. 11 sacks last week. Head coach Greg Jackham said that was a record for the school, and they've just been incredibly dominant. And for Marvin Ridge, it's going to be important for them to protect that offensive line, to protect the quarterback, and to give their quarterback an opportunity here as Marvin Ridge takes the field. Give the quarterback they've got some options on the outside in Cole Seawright and Jackson Gibbs, but you need that offensive line to protect, to give quarterback an opportunity to get to those players on the outside.
And, you know, when you talk about Ardrey Kell defense, it really kind of goes right to the forefront, and that's Kyler Watson, who had 4 of the 11 sacks last week in that big win over Cuthbertson for Ardrey Kell. Watson, he had some attention here locally. Langston Works and his entire Charlotte Observer team went in and gave him a pretty good shout out, one of their top players. And Watson was just one, but this Ardrey Kell team especially brought pressure on the quarterback position. So on the other side from Marvin Ridge, they're going to be looking out tonight and trying to keep Evan Metters as protected as humanly possible.
40-3 that win last week from Ardrey Kell, and 11 sacks, a huge reason why. And talking about Kyler Watson, he's one of just a few guys on the defense for Ardrey Kell who can really make things happen and really cause some trouble. It's going to be important. I can't stress this enough. It's going to be important for Marvin Ridge to protect their quarterback and give the quarterback an opportunity here as Ardrey Kell takes the field to a raucous reception. That's what college football is all about, man.
Yes.
Or high school football, I should say, is all about.
That's where they have their sights set, of course. But first, you play in high school. You play in front of these great crowds. The sun continues to set. It's glaring right now. Got about another 25 or so minutes of it to withstand. And then finally can take some refuge from the sun. But the stage is set. And we get our journey underway here momentarily. Still high 80s. A little bit of a breeze out there. Humidity not as bad.
I want to jump in there. You talk about the weather. It is important. These guys, I hope they were hydrated during the week.
Right.
Hydration is not one of those things you can try to catch on the back end. You have to do it at the front end.
Yeah.
And hopefully we don't get cramps and injuries tonight here. It's still early September. We're in North Carolina. We were talking before the game. It's been a remarkably hot summer, and both you and I are sort of waiting on the crisp air of autumn to kick in here and give us a bit of a respite. But hopefully we don't have any injuries or cramps setting in because of the hot weather here tonight.
Always seems to happen, these kind of early season games where you have things like that happen. So something to watch as we get set. Again, right at 7 o'clock, so right on time, as Ardrey, Kell, and Marvin Ridge get ready. It will be Marvin Ridge to kick off to the home team, Ardrey, Kell first. And so ready is Jackson Moore to kick it away for the Mavericks. 0-2 coming in under the leadership of head coach Aubrey Carter. His team needs that first 2022 win. Maybe they'll get it tonight. Off and away from South Charlotte on this Friday night before Labor Day as Moore's kick goes into the end zone. That's a touchback. And so it'll be Ardrey, Kell, and the Knights to take the field. And they get set with their quarterback, Josh LeClaire.
You know, I actually ran into Josh LeClaire's mom pregame.
You did.
And such a nice lady, I want to add. But Josh LeClaire, this is his moment. He earned the starting job. That's what Greg Jackham told us before this game. Earned this job, heavy competition, but his leadership skills stood out above the rest.
So LeClaire's Knights take the field. And the opening drive of the night will start with LeClaire putting one into the hands of his receiver, Ethan Persutti. And that's a guy to watch tonight, especially for you, Armand.
You aren't lying. 4 touchdowns last week Persutti had. He is incredibly athletic. It finds the ball, and one of their top targets, a remarkable player for this Ardrey Kell offense.
So that's one catch by Persutti. And now another. This one gotten out quick to Brooks Stankovic from LeClaire. So 2 for 2 is LeClaire, but keeping them pretty close and working those out routes. But does pick up a first down, so the sticks move for the first time for a fresh set for Ardrey Kell. LeClaire dropping again. He's 3 for 3. That time connects, finds Persutti again. And I know you mentioned just how wide open your eyes were on Ethan Persutti, Armand, but you go back, no wonder, because that's how Ardrey Kell closed out the big 40-3 win against Cuthbertson. 3 straight in the second, third, and fourth quarter. LeClaire to Persutti.
He had a big 20-point second quarter, which helped them pull away in that game last week.
2nd and 10, one in motion. Get our first run of the night. Here goes Baylor Morgan, who is a powerhouse running back for Ardrey Kell. Morgan just past the 40-yard line.
Morgan, a returning starter at running back. Coach Jackham says he's a physical kid, wants to run you over. Doesn't want to go around you, wants to go straight through you. Very physical approach.
Talk about physical. 15 carries, 118 yards, 1 touchdown. Averaged almost 8 yards per carry in that 40-3 win over Cuthbertson last week. 3rd and 8 here from the 41-yard line as LeClaire and company look to the sideline and to Coach Greg Jackham and his staff for controls and instructions. LeClaire drops, incomplete.
That's a good stop there from Marvin Ridge.
Again, Persutti was the target of LeClaire, but that time it didn't work. And LeClaire was pretty crisp early on with a couple of connections, albeit some short ones. That one, though, incomplete, unfortunately, for Ardrey Kell. That'll post 4th down on 4th and 2, so now we get to see the Knights punt it away.
Marvin Ridge played a zone that time, and LeClaire unable to connect with his target.
Marvin Ridge awaits with 2 downfield. And here's the punt away from Andrew Bonteco. That one goes out of bounds far side, and Marvin Ridge looks like they'll have it around the 40-45-yard line, somewhere in there once it's officially marked. And we will get set to see the 0-2 Mavericks, who, again, we talked to both coaches, talked to Aubrey Carter, and he has said that improvements have been made despite the record, of course. Tackling and spacing was better that last time out, moving the ball better. Just need to execute here tonight against an Ardrey Kell team that this defense, we're getting ready to see it for the first time tonight, Armand.
Well, they need a fast start, too. That's been another problem of theirs, even last week in a loss against Independence. Got off to a slow start and just could not recover. Ended up losing that one 28-14. Need a fast start tonight. A couple of completions. Get the offense moving in the right direction for the quarterback, Rediger.
Rediger wearing number 7 at QB. He will give it to his running back, Clayton Kelly, who goes ahead. Kelly searching out a couple yards shy of the 50-yard line to post second down. Kelly has been splitting some carries that first week, and now kind of seems like he's taking over the position, that downhill runner. 2nd and 5 here. Pressure comes, and just able to get it out is Redinger. That one, though, is picked off. Under duress was Redinger. And it got intercepted by the Knights. And with the pick, that's Kyler Watson, who had 4 sacks last week. And Watson, big play for Ardrey Kell defense, picks off Redinger.
They bring a blitz here. As we take a look at the Ortho Carolina instant replay, they bring a blitz from the edge, and Redinger had a tough time. He knew the target was coming right at him, and he just throws it right to Kyler Watson, who's waiting on him. That was a great job that time by, looked like Jake Davids, who brought the blitz, the defensive back, and it just caused some trouble there for Redinger and threw it right to a waiting Kyler Watson, who picked that thing off.
So right back we go with this Ardrey Kell quickly becoming a very vaunted defense. We mentioned only allowing 3 points to Cuthbertson last week. How about allowing sub 70 yards total offense last week?
Yeah, man, 69 yards last week to Cuthbertson. You want to talk about dominance. It's really been a dominant effort in these first couple of games for this Ardrey Kell Knights club.
Flag will move back Ardrey Kell a bit, so take away some of that interception return yardage for Kyler Watson.
They've been trying to get the ball to Persetti here early. Let's see how Marvin Rich changes things up in the secondary to try to account for that.
Claire, one in motion, that's Hendricks. Give to the running back, Baylor Morgan. Morgan up through the middle. Morgan falls at the 40-yard line into Marvin Ridge territory on a nice run to pick up a first down.
Going straight up the gut, and you can see you're not going to bring him down easily. He does not go down quickly. Once again, very physical, low center of gravity. You're going to have to work to bring him down when you tackle him.
Morgan has gone plus 100 in both games so far this season for Ardrey Kell. Both times in triple digits. Just over 9 minutes left opening quarter. Again, give it to Baylor Morgan on first down, and Morgan is tackled just past the 35-yard line.
I like Ardrey Kell's approach here. First drive, they were trying to get the ball out in space, trying to get the ball to Persetti early. Now they're trying to establish the run and pound this Marvin Ridge defense.
Marvin Ridge defense you speak of, Armand, that has struggled these first 2 games. Of course, 0-2, and they've given up some points as well. Fell 28-6 to Monroe to start the season. And then Independence 28-14, the loss. Second down. LeClaire steps up on the move. He's mobile, and Josh LeClaire searching out that 25-yard line, came up just short, put him at the 26-yard line on the scramble.
You mentioned it, he is mobile. He will take off. He's a true dual threat quarterback. As we take another look at the Ortho Carolina instant replay, claps the hands a couple of times, gets some decent protection up front, and he takes off in a hurry. He knows he's got the speed and the confidence to take off when he needs to.
1st and 10 from the 26. New set of downs for Ardrey Kell. Jumble to the hands, then secured by Morgan, who is running out of the backfield and turns into a pass catcher. But quick defense from Marvin Ridge stopped him as the tackle was made by Finley Mitchell.
Finley Mitchell, one of their linebackers that they really like. They've got a pretty experienced linebacking group to this Marvin Ridge team, hoping that'll work to their advantage tonight.
Still scoreless. LeClaire rolling, fires, finds an open target. That's Persetti. And Persetti goes out of bounds, but inside the 10-yard line. And again, there's that target, big number 19 for Ardrey Kell.
The Ortho Carolina instant replay shows us here. So they got to him 6 times last week. He may have 6 catches in the first quarter the way we're looking here as he makes that grab on the perimeter.
Persetti very active very early, just as we expected things to be. First down, and again, a running play for Ardrey Kell. So once again, it goes to Baylor Morgan right up the middle with the football.
2nd and goal.
You know, it's 1st and goal, and Ardrey Kell said, Coach Jackham said, we have multiple looks that we want to throw at Marvin Ridge. We don't want to be locked into any one mindset offensively. We're going to throw everything we have at them tonight. Hopefully get off to a good start. That's what Jackham is thinking. And really set the tone here early.
Tackled is Morgan, who took it again. So now inside of the 5-yard line, getting ever closer here. It'll be 3rd and goal coming up.
It's a really good tackle by Nate Rawls, one of their key linebackers for Marvin Ridge. I talked just a moment ago about that linebacking group. It's one of the highlights of Marvin Ridge's defense. Rawls making a big play that time.
LeClaire puts it into the end zone, caught for the touchdown. Ardrey Kell is on the board. The score is Wyatt Hendricks. Hendricks pulled it in. 6-0. Ardrey Kell Knights as LeClaire finds Hendrick for the touchdown.
North Carolina instant replay. So we've been talking about Morgan. We've been talking about all these other guys. And then out of nowhere, here comes the first grab for Wyatt Hendricks. There was a key block there by Baylor Morgan, number 6, the running back, to keep the quarterback clean as the extra point is good. But that key block by Morgan helped everything go into motion and set up that touchdown to Wyatt Hendricks.
Hendricks, who had 11 yards on 2 grabs last week against Cuthbertson. And then Hendricks had 3 grabs for 15 in the season opener against Monroe. So now Hendricks is in on the party with the touchdown to start it off 7-0 Ardrey Kell. And Marvin Ridge, again, a team that hasn't been blanked this season. They put up some points, yes, but already down by a touchdown. It's pretty important. I know it's still early in the season, Armand, but it is important for Marvin Ridge to come back and try to put something together this next drive.
Well, the key is not to get discouraged, you know? You don't want to play the tapes of the last 2 games in your mind. You want to say, okay, we gave up the touchdown. We had the interception here. Hey, quarterback, let's get back out there. And offensive line, give us some protection. Get back out there and just keep things going. You don't want to get discouraged because you threw the pick. You forget about it and you move on if you're a Redditor.
So the kickoff ready now for Ardrey Kell after that touchdown pass. Claire to Hendricks. And now for Marvin Ridge to get the football back. As again, sun continues to set here at Ardrey Kell High School. This return is going to start right on the doorstep of the end zone by Lejewski. Lejewski gets to the 20-yard line, and then he's surrounded. It's always tough, Armand. You're backed up that close. You're right on your own doorstep. You got to go for it, though.
You know, I feel like Marvin Ridge has to do something maybe a little extraordinary here. Not in a panicking response, but just to tell Ardrey Kell, you know what? We've come to fight tonight. And Ardrey Kell even said that when we talked to Coach Jackham, he said, we're taking this team seriously. We are not going to be complacent because we know Marvin Ridge is going to give us everything they have.
Yeah, he knew it coming in. It's a tense rivalry between these 2 teams, so close together, only a couple miles separating the schools. Here's a running play for Marvin Ridge to start their next drive after the touchdown for Ardrey Kell. And again, the carry is Clayton Kelly, the senior running back, ahead for a couple.
Kelly can be physical also. A senior on this team. Marvin Ridge, they've had to deal with some injuries here that it's not helped them out at all. It's been a season, these first 2 games, hammered by injuries. But if they get a nice win here at Ardrey Kell, it has a way of turning some things around.
Usually does. 2nd and 8. Complete. Catch by Cody Coleman, the tight end. And pass by Metters.
Coleman, a senior on this squad. That's what you like to see. Just get something short, something quick. Offense gives some time to the quarterback, Rediger, and he's able to make that nice short completion to set up a 3rd and 1. The playbook is open now. Let's see what Aubrey Carter and his offensive staff wants to dial up.
3rd and 2 after that pass play by Rediger. Under 5 minutes to go, opening quarter. Handoff, Clayton Kelly. Kelly needs 2 yards for the first down. Looks like he got it.
Ardrey Kell was holding up the fist there, indicating a 4th down. They may have to measure this one. Now the referee looks like he is pointing for, actually he's pointing for the measurement, I do believe.
Watching it now, ball's been placed at the 31-yard line, which is almost exactly parallel to the stick on the far side of the field. See if Kelly actually got this or not.
Looks like they're going to mark him about a yard short. I thought I saw an indication they're calling towards the chain gang to maybe take a look at it, but it's 4th down. Marvin Ridge is going to have to punt.
4th and 1. And for the moment, staying on the field is Rediger. And now a timeout called, so chance there just for a moment to think about things. 4th down and a yard coming up from Marvin Ridge. See if they do punt or maybe they test it out here with Kelly, but this is a precarious spot of the field, Armand. You usually don't play around too much down here on 4th down this early in the game.
Yeah, I said do something extraordinary.
Not that.
I don't think I meant that. I was thinking something on 1st, 2nd, or 3rd down, but yeah, this will be an interesting call here because you want to send a message to Ardrey Kell if you're Coach Carter, but at the same time, you don't want things to get out of hand here. You're thinking about the start against Independence, you're thinking about the start against Monroe, and you do want to set the tone, but you want to be careful here and not potentially push down the mountain any farther and hurt your team anymore. But looks like Rediger's out there.
He is. Offense comes back out with Braden Rediger and Clayton Kelly alongside. I actually checked that. It's a new running back. It's Leszewski, and he did not get there. Ardrey Kell's defense stops the 4th and 1 try from Marvin Ridge. Turnover on downs, and the Knights are going to have this extra plus territory.
Never had a chance. Ortho Carolina instant replay. Great penetration, and you know who it was. Number 9, Kyler Watson, a disruptive force on the interior.
Watson, 4 sacks last week. Ardrey Kell had 11 sacks last week in that 40-3 win over Cuthbertson, as we mentioned earlier. That time pressure on the running back, Leszewski, and a turnover on downs.
Talking with Coach Jackham, these are the kind of things they're going to do. A lot of window dressing and movement pre-snap.
Faking the handoff, and now a toss to Stankovic, who now turns back around and got it away, and now here goes the run to the end zone. Stankovic, he completely reversed himself. He initially was heading left, thought, I'll go right, and that was the right move. 13-0, Ardrey Kell.
Just like that. What a journey he takes. Ortho Carolina instant replay shows it to us. He breaks a tackle here and then reverses field, gets a couple of really key blocks, and just takes off to the races. Not a chance for Marvin Ridge on that one once Stankovic got free.
So the ultimate move there to at least buy a touchdown. The extra point is scored by Andrew Bonteco. It's 14-0 Ardrey Kell over Marvin Ridge with just over 4 minutes left first quarter. So we've seen a steady march down the field. We saw the defense of Ardrey Kell just come up there, Armand, and then you come up with something like that, a complete reversal of fortune in a way for Marvin Ridge, a reversal of direction for Stankovic to get in for a score.
And a tough break for Marvin Ridge, too. You're trying to make an impact. You're trying to send a message. You're trying to be aggressive, but it backfires, and right after Ardrey Kell gets the ball back, Brooks Stankovic is able to reverse field and get into the end zone for a touchdown, extending the lead now to 14-0 for Ardrey Kell. Really tough break for Marvin Ridge.
For a team coming in 0-2, and they've been in those games, but Coach Aubrey Carter wanted to see continual improvement, and yes, still early, but it is 14-0 Ardrey Kell, and they get set to kick off as that sun continues to set, and a pretty picture shaping up on our first Charlotte Rivalry Series broadcast of the season here on the NFHS Network, powered by Ortho Carolina. Return on the way from Marvin Ridge, and he slipped up, never had the opportunity to get his footing back on a return by Leszewski, who you remember just moments ago was stopped on that 4th down try.
Yeah, it's not been his quarter. They like him a lot, though. Yeah. So we will expect to see him really make an impact in Marvin Ridge's offense. But it's been a tough quarter for him, having that play blown up and then having that return not go the way he wanted to. But once again, it's still early in this game. Let's get something out in space here. Let's see if we can get a couple of 5-6 yard pass plays, some short dump downs, some screen plays. That's something that Ardrey Kell said they were going to look for from Marvin Ridge, using their pass game to set up the run.
Down, that's a sack as the quarterback, Rediger, tried to scramble there with an option play, and quickly Ardrey Kell defense gang tackled Rediger to bring up second down. Just got back to the line of scrimmage at Redinger, so no loss, at least not posted yet. So here comes 2nd and 10. Leszewski in the backfield. He got the majority of the carries last week. Here goes Redinger again, having to clamor and get out. Throws it away. That one is intercepted, and it's Ben Kirsch. And Kirsch with a short field pick six, 20-0. Ardrey Kell has Kirsch with the eyes of an under-duress Redinger. And just like that, a pick six to the end zone for Ardrey Kell.
Pick six by number 12.
The pick goes right into the hands. I actually believe that was Chancellor Bryant, number 12 there, Corey.
Yep.
But once he gets it, he knows exactly what to do with it. Man, and when it rains, it pours. Ardrey Kell, this defense is riding a high. I mean, we spoke with Coach Jackham. He says our offense is clicking and our defense is clicking, and everything is working for them right now.
Here comes the extra point by Bonteco, and he got it. 21-0, Ardrey Kell, pick six by Chancellor Bryant. Bryant picked it from the quarterback Redinger and really adds another score defensively. And you get them back-to-back here after the 4th down turnover that Ardrey Kell forced. His defense just continues to rack up some impressive plays. Again, they got a 21-0 win over Providence to open the season, and then most recently 40-3 over Cuthbertson. So this defense is, they're not surprising anyone, Armand. Everyone's talking about Ardrey Kell's defense here in Charlotte.
Yes, they are, and I think the message got through from head coach Greg Jackham. He was pretty adamant with us earlier this week about making sure we understood that he told his team, we are not overlooking this Marvin Ridge club. We're not treating them like an 0-2 team. We're going for everything that we can throw at them. They've done that so far in this first quarter, and they've really set the tone here early.
Yeah, you're bringing my notes back to my head now. I can see them in front of me now. Great point there, Armand. He actually said it to you and I. Watch this game. Watch Marvin Ridge. It could be the ultimate trap game.
That's what he said.
Yeah. One way, of course, to overcome some of that is to build a 3-touchdown lead early on. 3:15 to go in quarter number 1. Leszewski will take it out, again starting at the 5-yard line. Leszewski still looking for room and clatters past the 25-yard line, call it maybe the 26, 27. And Marvin Ridge, the Mavericks, will hit the field again.
Promising return there, though. He did make a couple of nice moves, a couple of nice cuts, and get Marvin Ridge a bit better field position than what they had last time.
Moments ago, Redinger, an interception that turned into 6 points. 5th pick of the season for Redinger, who has been the most active quarterback, but you can't take your eyes off of his touchdown rate, though. 30 for 45, 186, 2 scores through the air coming in to tonight.
See if that offensive line can give him a little protection here.
Redinger will keep, sold it fairly well. Redinger is carried down at the 42-yard line, but quick feet again for Marvin Ridge QB Braden Redinger.
Ortho Carolina instant replay. I love the play call. The fake the give on the option look. He cuts it off the field, and that was the key cut there by the quarterback Redinger. Once he cuts it up the field, he had some daylight to pick up the first down.
Fresh set now, 1st and 10 from the 40. Again sold the handoff fake, and Redinger clatters now to the 45, able to get a couple out of it. Seeing the options start to become a factor here for Redinger.
Coach Carter and the offensive crew says, look, if they're going to keep throwing guys at us, we're going to do some misdirection, we're going to do some option stuff, we're going to use their speed and their athleticism against them and move up the field with our quarterback with his feet.
Took about half of it out, so 2nd and 5 now. Redinger drops, lofts, deep, caught but out of bounds. Jackson Gibbs pulled it in, but he was in the sideline white. So it'll be 2nd down, 3rd down rather, on that incomplete pass.
Ortho Carolina instant replay, and you're just a little bit too far away from the boundary there to comfortably make that catch. But they're glad to have Jackson Gibbs. He missed quite a bit of time last year, receiver and cornerback, injured last year, but back in the rotation, and they're glad to have him.
Redinger zings it and finds his target. That's Brody Keith who picks it up. And Keith gets a nice jump, 1st down and then some, close to the 30-yard line.
That time he got very good protection. North Carolina instant replay shows us got good protection from that offensive line. They hold up beautifully, giving Redditch a great time against the zone defense, zipping that thing down the middle of the field for Brody Keefe.
Snapped at the 35-yard line. Leszewski trying to find room, never found it. Skirted off to his left in a pile there defensively for Ardrey Kell, one of those Malachi Lester. Second down.
I do like the change from Marvin Ridge, though. They use the option game, using Redditcher with his feet to open up the offense a bit now. They've been able to move the ball down the field here. Let's see if they can finish this off with something productive. Spreading them out here now.
Trips to the right for Redinger. Fires it through the hands of the receiver. That one could have been picked, as the intended target was Cody Coleman. Third down.
Got lucky that time, Corey.
Yeah.
All right, Ardrey Kell. That brings up a third down.
Interception that led to a touchdown for Ardrey Kell's defense. They were playing Coleman close, just off of his hands. Third down at the 35.
Got a flag here thrown.
Saw that.
Maybe a sideline warning on Ardrey Kell. There it is. Yep.
Okay.
Got to back it up, fellas.
Encroaching a little bit. There's two types of encroachment. Sideline and on the field.
But even the penalties have been something that Ardrey Kell has improved with. They saw a decrease in their penalties from game 1 to game 2. And that's their first penalty, if I do believe, of this first quarter here.
You got it. 1:15 to go. First quarter. Third down at the 35-yard line. Redinger just got it out. Again, links up with Gibbs. Gibbs struggling to keep those feet in bounds. He did, but he'll come up about 5 yards short. And it's fourth down, and Marvin Ridge will punt unless Redinger hangs around here. It's
in the first quarter.
5.
Now this one I would think about going for here. I thought the short pass was to set up something on the fourth down. And it looks like that's what they're going to do because Redinger is still on the field.
Redinger there. Now it's Clayton Kelly who's in the backfield. Kelly splitting some carries so far this season. He'll come in now on fourth and down. This has all the look of a classic try to draw Ardrey Kell off sides type of play, but we'll see.
Got a timeout by Marvin Ridge.
Timeout, Marvin Ridge.
I will say, number 10, watch out for him, Cole Seawright. We haven't heard from him just yet. Maybe he gets a look here on fourth down.
So just over a minute remaining here, opening quarter. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Deer Park. During the North Carolina high school football season, Deer Park, 100% natural spring water, will honor one team from each classification with the Deer Park Fueled by Nature Team of the Week Award. Teams selected through the season will be eligible to win the Fueled by Nature Team of the Year Award. For more information and to nominate your team today, you can scan the QR code on your screen, and we'll do that later on. Keep an eye out for that. Remember, Deer Park, part of our sponsor family this season on the Charlotte Rivalry Series, powered by Ortho Carolina.
I like the aggressiveness here. I did before the timeout. Looks like they're going to bring out the special teams unit and try a field goal.
Field goal attempt is up and good. Put it through Jackson Moore. That gets Marvin Ridge on the board. Just under a minute left first quarter, 21-3. And if nothing else, Armand, the Mavericks are on the board.
Yeah, you see points go on the board.
Yeah.
But I like what they did. I like that they set up that option game. Carter and the crew made some changes offensively, have to move down the field. And once they started to get some positivity going, now you're able to make a few completions and get you some points on the board. And really, maybe that'll change things for you if you're Marvin Ridge. It gets your defense a little bit more into the game and helps you get settled in.
Mavericks will punt and get ready to kick off here. Back to Ardrey Kell after the field goal by Moore. It'll be Moore to line up and get ready to send it the other way. Dominant offensive start, also defensively for Ardrey Kell. But Marvin Ridge gets on the board. Moore kicks off. Working our way towards the end of quarter number one. That one past the end zone and bounces around as Ardrey Kell will come out, no return.
It is important for Ardrey Kell to continue to power through here. They've set a nice tone offensively. Of course, the defense has helped them out greatly. But if you are Coach Jackham, you want to see these guys continue to push this thing down the field. Let's see if they go back to Persetti here and get him going again late in the first quarter. He's at the bottom of your screen.
That's right, Persetti was really active on that opening drive for Ardrey Kell. Here goes to Claire, little touch pass, picked up by Jalen Toy Ellis. Near side goes out past the 25-yard line, second down.
Toy Ellis, just one of those athletes on this team. He can play running back. You can put him on a perimeter. He can play defensive back. He's one of those guys you can just sort of put in different locations and ask him to make a play, and a play somehow or another just gets made.
Toy Ellis had 5 catches for 61 yards in Ardrey Kell's 21-0 win over Providence Day a couple weeks ago. LeClaire finds his popular target, Persetti, and Persetti just past the 35-yard line, first down.
Something short on the outside. Persetti, look at him. He is pretty well built for a young man at his age. He's headed to Old Dominion, and you see why. He brings a wealth of talent and athleticism, and already Ardrey Kell has made sure to find him so many times in his first quarter.
There's some dueling commitments already for this Ardrey Kell team. One to Navy, one to Army, got one to ODU. That's the end of quarter number one. It's 21-3, Ardrey Kell over Marvin Ridge. And we'll get set for quarter number two. On the other side, it's the Charlotte Rivalry Series powered by Ortho Carolina here on the NFHS network. And now time for Deer Park. During the North Carolina high school football season, Deer Park 100% natural spring water will honor one team from each classification with the Deer Park Fueled by Nature Team of the Week Award. Teams selected through the season will be eligible to win the Fueled by Nature Team of the Year Award. For more information and to nominate your team today, scan that QR code that's on your screen right now. The Deer Park Team of the Week Award.
At Ortho Carolina, my personalized orthopedic care doesn't have to wait because after-hours urgent care knows accidents happen. Ortho Carolina, my care, my way. Schedule your appointment today at orthocarolina.com.
We're back, second quarter. Here from Ardrey Ridge High School in South Charlotte. It's 21-3, Knights of Ardrey Ridge over the Mavericks of Marvin Ridge. Corey Hodges, Armand Brody, the entire team back here with you. Charlotte Rivalry Series, powered by Ortho Carolina, our first broadcast of the season on the Friday before Labor Day.
We'll hand off there to Baylor Morgan for a gain of 4. Can bust big runs, they say. One of those old school football players, according to his head coach, Greg Jackham.
LeClaire with Morgan in the backfield, a really active guy in that backfield for Ardrey Kell. Second down. Here's LeClaire. Pressure came late, got it away, really to avoid the sack, got it to Ben Kirsch. And that will post third down.
It's a pretty big hit by Finley Mitchell there. It was so big that he has to go off the field because he lost his helmet. When you know you've done your job, though. When the helmet comes off, that's when you've laid a pretty good hit on it.
I saw a big hit on Twitter last night. Same thing, helmet came off. A little bit of a high snap for LeClaire. Fires it wide open middle of the field. That's Brooks Stankiewicz, and he's gone to the end zone for the Ardrey Kell runaway touchdown as Stankiewicz wide open middle of the field and just ran it all the way in for the touchdown. 27-3, Ardrey Kell.
Ortho Carolina instant replay. It starts with good protection. There had to be some miscommunication there in the coverage because Stankiewicz was wide open. You had a bunch of players from Marvin Ridge caught up in the same area, and Stankiewicz was wide open for that touchdown. Josh LeClaire has reason to be satisfied with his efforts there.
Extra point is good.
And the kick is good by
Drilled through by Andrew Bonteco. And getting that big touchdown by Stankiewicz right in the middle of the field. And again, you're looking at LeClaire. He's had some extra time. He's really only been under pressure about 2 really good times. And in those times, Armand, he's been able to get the ball out quick. And that time he put on a laser show.
And Greg Jackham said something to us. He said, I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he said essentially, we don't need LeClaire to be a hero. We've got the weapons, and Lord knows we've seen that already here.
Yes.
We've got the weapons. Find our targets, trust what we have on the field, and good things will happen. And so far, good things are happening.
No, it's going all right here for Ardrey Kell, coming in 2-0, trying to set themselves up for 3-0. Saw the pick 6. The rest, normal touchdown variety type of plays. Hendricks has caught a touchdown. Stankiewicz has caught a touchdown. The pick 6 was Chancellor Bryant. All of that going on in quarter number 1. Kickoff. Being pinned deep in the end zone. Which is holding it there is Jeremiah Leszewski. And so Marvin Ridge will bring it out and get ready to start their next drive in what's becoming a little bit more of a precarious position here early on, Armand, down by a couple of touchdowns, and you're really looking to go back to that last drive in which you got a field goal. You put something on the board.
Well, you want something positive again, just like you got last time, and what they did last time worked. Now let's see if Ardrey Kell changes things up in response. Maybe they don't send as much blitzing. Maybe they play back a little bit more. But we'll see how Marvin Ridge approaches this, because what they did last time did work for them. They were able to get some positive looks on the option game. You saw the quarterback there, Braden Rediger, take the ball down the field with his legs, using that option, using the speed of Ardrey Kell's defense to Marvin Ridge's advantage, and getting down the field for 3 points.
So drive starts at the 20-yard line for Marvin Ridge. Again, they love Redinger. Got the start last week. Here's Redinger. Again, he'll take it himself up the middle. Ardrey Kell defensively there in a hurry.
They were ready for it that time. Crew led by Xavier Esquilin, one of the defensive linemen on this team. Leading the charge that time to make that tackle. Looks like they want to be more aware of what Rediger can do with his legs here. Ardrey Kell trying to answer the call.
Aubrey Carter saying about Redinger, plays within the framework of the offense. He was 27 of 40 last week and was really efficient. Has struggled here to start this one tonight, but again, many teams, 2, 3, if you count the exhibition, have struggled this season already against Ardrey Kell's defense. Flag on the play, whistles this one silent.
I hope you guys at home saw Josh Switzer, number 4 of Ardrey Kell. He came dashing through. He's the one on his way to Navy. We were talking about him a little bit ago. He came dashing through there to pummel whoever was in his way. A true athlete and also a pretty smart dude. Has a 4.55 GPA. He is a wizard, and he's also a pretty marvelous football player.
Yes, Switzer got a great last name too. That works in football.
It does work, yes.
Especially in Oklahoma.
Nice job.
Second down. That one is almost intercepted, batted by Kyler Watson on the pass by Redinger.
Same guy.
Always, Armand. You know Watson's going to be there.
But once again, Ortho Carolina instant replay. They brought the blitz again in the play action fake, and right there Watson is waiting on it in zone coverage. If you bring the pressure against this quarterback, Rediger, any quarterback, frankly, you're always going to hurry him up a little bit. And that time, it almost caught Rediger again. But they brought that same blitz as Switzer came from the opposite side and was ready to take down the quarterback. Here he comes again.
Pressure comes. Redinger will be sacked. Pressure was Joshua Switzer who brought down Redinger to post 4th down. Got him by the toes.
3 straight times Switzer comes on the blitz, and this time he gets him. He stays with it. Ortho Carolina instant replay. Take a look. He comes, and he fights through a pretty powerful block there. The attempted block by the running back, Clayton Kelly. Switzer was having none of it, and he chases him down and tracks him down and refuses to let him go until he hands him to the ground.
Talk about talking it up. just sharing some thoughts on Switzer and who comes up with a big sack to bring up 4th down. It was Joshua Switzer. Pressure got to Braden Redinger, so here comes the punt, but first a flag.
Flag on the play.
Lining up is Jackson Moore with 2 deep back for Ardrey Kell to return.
It's like a false start there by Marvin Ridge. We had a pretty clean, fairly clean first quarter. Penalties are always something that rears its ugly head early in the season. This is a rivalry game also, so that plays a factor.
It's the same situation with so many teams starting the season, and we discussed this last night as well, actually, about how the officials, it's one of their first games of the season too, so everyone getting into that rhythm. Snap was a little bit high back to Moore. He does get it away, and that's on the opposite side to Chancellor Bryant, who's on the return, and Bryant out in the vicinity of the 45-yard line.
Once again, though, good field position for Ardrey Kell. Man, to have this kind of a defense at multiple levels, and Coach Jackham was concerned a little bit about their secondary when I spoke with him. A little concerned in that area, but so far so good. I think some of those concerns may subside a little bit looking at the performance that we've seen from the first 2 games and up close and personal. A pretty dominant performance by all 3 levels of their defense in this first half.
Yeah, it is a scary defensive unit for Ardrey Kell. We've already seen it once tonight. Probably won't be the last time from back in the first quarter. And of course here at home tonight as well. Running play, here goes Baylor Morgan. Morgan right to midfield. The really workhorse guy in the backfield for Ardrey Kell. Baylor Morgan, who's had again 100+ yards in each of the first 2 official games of the season, and will look to make it 3 in a row here tonight. 2nd down and a little bit less than 5. Looks like 2nd and 4 coming up with the ball placed right at the 50-yard line.
We have seen a balanced attack, I say, from Ardrey Kell, all things considered. They're trying to make sure they hit the run and the pass here and move down the field.
Pass away, caught by Wyatt Hendricks, who already has a touchdown tonight. Hendricks took a hard hit defensively by Jackson Gibbs, but Hendricks picks up the first down by about 3 yards and goes out into Marvin Ridge territory at the 44-yard line.
Ortho Carolina instant replay, and there's the hit. Pretty big hit laid on them there by Jackson Gibbs, who's also their wide receiver, but a first down.
LeClaire, nowhere to go. Take it on his own. LeClaire to the 35-yard line. Kind of saw him flick his head there for a second, Armand, and just straight ahead.
Well, LeClaire has confidence in his speed, and he replaced Jack Curtis, who was more of a pocket passer, Coach Jackham told us from last year. But LeClaire earned this job, and Coach Jackham wanted us to really understand that. And he's got confidence in his legs, so take off when he needs to. And he's a pretty effective quarterback, passing the ball or running the ball, taking it on the field.
2nd and short now from the 35. Give it to Baylor Morgan. Morgan stopped initially, trying to channel his way through for maybe an extra yard or 2. Defensively, Amani Takmwa came in. 3rd down and 1 coming up for Ardrey Kell.
It's the first time we've heard from Amani, and he's one of their key defensive players. Had 7 sacks last year from Marvin Ridge. They're looking for big things from him again this year. He, along with Rawls and Mitchell, really 3 of their key defensive players from Marvin Ridge, looking for some key contributions from those 3 guys.
He leads our defensive line, in the words of head coach Aubrey Carter, all-conference player. Here goes LeClaire. LeClaire almost had to hurdle to pass by the defense of Seawright, but he got ahead for a first down for Ardrey Kell.
Seawright tripped him up, but not before he picked up that first down. They're keeping things moving here. We talked about this, giving Marvin Ridge multiple looks, no huddle, trying to wear this defense down, power, run game, and pass game.
Gunn now quickly out to Stankiewicz, who's tackled at the 30-yard line. 2 brought him down. So Rawls and Jackson Clegg.
Clegg is a tight end, defensive lineman, and a linebacker here. And once again, Rawls has been very active. We've said his name quite a few times, 52, one of the leaders on this Marvin Ridge defense.
Second down. LeClaire drops. Here comes the pressure and the sack. And that's Amani Takmoa who got the sack on LeClaire.
Well, we talked about Amani just a moment ago, and here he is, the Ortho Carolina instant replay. Just gets a really good push up front and a pretty powerful, aggressive sack, taking down the quarterback.
That time the pressure from Marvin Ridge came roaring back, and so the Mavericks give a little back to Ardrey Kell with pressure on the quarterback. It's going to force third and way long with the yard to gain down at the 20-yard line. Ball will be snapped here at the 38. LeClaire dropping, gets it away to Baylor Morgan, and Morgan, it's a screenplay. Morgan tripped up just past the 10-yard line, but gets it for the first down. Now, if he wasn't touched, he went all the way in. Looks like, though, that Morgan was down at the 10.
Ortho Carolina instant replay. They bring a blitz. The problem is once you bring the blitz, there's nobody on the second and third level. And a key aspect of this play is the downfield blocking by Ardrey Kell's offensive line. That was the key to getting Morgan down the field after the catch.
Snap now at the 10-yard line. First and goal for Ardrey Kell. 4:13 to go, second quarter. Trying to build upon a 28-3 lead. Here goes LeClaire. LeClaire took a hard hit. LeClaire run out of bounds by Nate Rolls. Second and goal coming up.
He took a big hit too. But think about this Marvin Ridge defense. They're not slouches. They only gave up 16 points per game last year. And so when you talk about Aubrey Carter, you're not talking about a guy who has a defense that just gets walked over. This is a defense that has established their own identity, and they're offended by this 28-3 score right now.
And they should be, and they're looking to strike back a bit here. Put some hurt on LeClaire that time. He claps for it, gets the football. Now he'll shovel it. Caught by Toy Ellis, and Ellis past the 5-yard line. Talk about thinking on your feet there for LeClaire. Shoveled it to Toy Ellis, who then tried to make some headway there. Third and goal coming up for the Knights of Ardrey Kell.
We got an injured player, Corey, but he did get up under his own power. That's Cole Seawright, who's not only their defensive back, he's also a wide receiver for them. Good to see him hop up and off the field.
Yeah, that was good. Seawright came up really quick. 3:38 to go before halftime, and of course all Ardrey Kell, and they are driving, but it is third and goal. Marvin Ridge got that sack, kind of set back the drive for Ardrey Kell, but then the big pass play with Morgan that got busted up, and that got Ardrey Kell down here, right just past the 5-yard line. Give it to Baylor Morgan, and Morgan got a key block and runs in for the Ardrey Kell touchdown, and it's 34-3 with under 3.5 to go before the break.
Everybody's getting a piece of the touchdown pie. Ortho Carolina instant replay. Great blocking up front and a quick cut there on the right side by Morgan. He got a key block there from number 17. That was Xavier Esquilin, who not only plays defensive line, but also plays on the offensive line. That's the key block that allowed Morgan to go into the end zone.
Extra point is good. Andrew Bonteco to make it 35-3. Ardrey Kell. Kind of waiting to see some of those running moves for Baylor Morgan. When you get it as often as he does, Armand, you know a lot of that is because of that offensive line, and he had that key block right at the end that just paved the way right for him.
And when Jackham talked to us about the offensive line, he says, I'm really pleased. There was one word that he used in particular. He said cohesive. And if there's any position where you need cohesiveness, it's the offensive line. Because an offensive line that's not cohesive gets your quarterback hurt, gets 3 and outs real quick, and gets frustration on the sideline.
It's all about that O-line, how they perform, how they block, and how they protect the quarterback. And a lot of that is helping out LeClaire early on this season. And, of course, getting Morgan opportunities to not only score touchdowns, but maybe try to make it 3 straight games to open 2022 with 100+.
Number 85,
Shane French to kick off for the Knights. See where this pins Marvin Ridge. It'll be in the end zone. Go ahead and hold that one in. as Cooper Penny was back there to receive it. Fair catch, and Marvin Ridge will have a late second quarter opportunity to again stitch something together for a team that, again, a couple years ago, coming off of an 8-win season, they've had a couple of good years, and not the start that this Mavericks team and head coach Ardrey wanted this season so far, Armand, but every game, learning opportunity, same thing going tonight.
Yeah, 8-3 last season. If this score holds, it'll be their third loss in a row. But a tough way to start the year, too. 3 straight road games. That's really hard for any team to do at the high school level.
Yeah, it's something that should be mentioned. Has been a lot of road tests here early on from Marvin Ridge. Incomplete. Target was Jake Schumacher from the quarterback, Redinger, second down.
Schumacher, both a wide receiver and a defensive back on this team. One of the juniors on this club. Looked like a good look there, but just a little bit too far ahead of Jake Schumacher there. Would have been a big play there. It looked like he was behind the defense, but could not make the connection with his quarterback, Redinger.
Marvin Ridge out of the Southern Carolinas Conference, 8-3, 4-1 in that conference last season, playing the 4A part of the Southern Carolinas Conference under head coach Ardrey in his 8th season. Run play and never got started. Pressure got to Clayton Kelly to force a difficult third down.
Looks like that play was messed up there by Davidson Springs, number 40. You're looking at him right there. And just another weapon that they can throw out on the defensive end and clog things up on the inside. Forcing now another 3rd and long for Marvin Ridge. The situation that Coach Carter does not want to see his offense in over and over again.
3rd and 10 coming up. Ball at the 20-yard line. I'll check that. Yeah, 20-yard line. Timeout on the field after Kelly got stopped. During the North Carolina high school football season, Deer Park, 100% natural spring water, will honor one team from each classification with the Deer Park Fueled by Nature Team of the Week Award. Teams selected throughout the season will be eligible to win the Fueled by Nature Team of the Year Award. For more information and to nominate your team today, scan that QR code. It's on your screen right now. Deer Park, part of our sponsorship package for the Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series powered by Ortho Carolina. So working our way down towards the end of quarter number 2. Sun has fully set. Get a chance to really see this place under the lights here tonight to give that theater-style look. Redinger, deep ball. Couldn't link it up. Looking downfield for his receiver, Brody Keefe, but overthrew him just by a step, Armand.
They like Keefe a lot. He's the only freshman on this club, according to our roster sheet. Just a little bit out ahead of him, but that's what happens when you bring a blitz. They blitzed Redinger that time. The Ortho Carolina instant replay shows us that. They bring the blitz to Redinger, and it hurried him. Had he not had to face that pressure, Marvin Ridge may have 6 points on the board right now.
That would have been a breakaway there for Keefe. Unfortunate that Redinger and he couldn't shake hands on the deep ball. Here's Jackson Moore to punt. Standing at the 45-yard line and ready to return is Stankiewicz. But he'll go ahead and hold his ground. That one bounces at the 45-yard line, just barely into Ardrey Kell's side of the field. And so they'll start again with pretty positive field position with just over 2.5 left before halftime.
Opportunity to keep sharpening your skills offensively. Curious to see where they go now. If you're Ardrey Kell, you want to stay hungry. Yeah. Lord knows we've had enough targets that they've gotten the ball here, they've gotten the ball there. Let's see what they do here. If they just run the ball, if they keep their pedal to the metal here and move down the field against this Marvin Ridge defense.
And it's all about Josh LeClaire at quarterback. LeClaire has been using the feet a little bit more. This time he'll put it up, and it's caught. Ethan Persutti went up, one-on-one coverage, and brought it down at the 25-yard line.
What a catch.
Yes.
What a catch. Ortho Carolina instant replay. We've got to take another look. And just hangs it up there. This is tight coverage, and Persutti is able to snatch that thing down and make that big catch.
Just after that big pass play, Ardrey Kell on the move, and again going to put it up just through the hands. LeClaire was feeling it, wanted to drill it to Jalen Toy Ellis, but just incomplete, second down. You can feel that momentum right there, Armand.
Toy Ellis got behind the defense, and he had to sort of twist and contort to try to make that play. Just a little bit too high for him, but he got behind the defense and was looking at a potential another 6 points.
Twist and contort is right. He was flailing, trying to come up and bring that football down. Would have been the second straight big pass play for Ardrey Kell. Second down, ball at the 25-yard line. Still over 2 minutes left here, second quarter, but Ardrey Kell really picking up the pace these last two big pass plays. One complete, one incomplete. LeClaire give the football away. On the move goes that reliable runner, Morgan. Working at the 17-yard line where he's eventually brought down by a pile.
Tackled by Finley Mitchell, number 6, and Rawls, number 52. That's part of that linebacking group that they really like here at Marvin Ridge, and they've seen a lot of action here. Rawls has made some key tackles already in this first half, and Mitchell is pretty active as well from that linebacker spot.
96 seconds left before halftime, and Ardrey Kell still with an opportunity to put another score on the board. Down here inside of the red zone, inside the green zone would be inside the 10-yard line. LeClaire, a little bit of pressure, so he goes ahead and skates through. LeClaire tackled down maybe the 17-yard line. Run down by Tuckmwa again, who had the sack earlier.
Got another injury there, another player down. Can't see that number. Michael Quinn, number 14, was also down for a moment from Marvin Ridge, but he popped up. Still have a player down, though, for the Mavericks.
Let that player get a little bit of extra look now. Hoping everything's okay there again as we work towards the end of the first half. A game that's been a little one-sided here in favor of Ardrey Kell, but there's always inspirational stories, of course, with any sport. We have a good one for you when we get to the second half. You'll want to make sure to stay tuned for that as we explore a little bit of news just outside of football, and also, you know, about a team with Ardrey Kell. They sent someone to Carolina, to the Tar Heels. We'll talk more about that in the second half, too, just to show how you can find that pathway to the top level of college football and do it from right here in the Queen City. So all that coming up second half, some stories to share with you.
Good to see Amani Chamwa walking off the field there under zone power. He is really one of their stars on the defensive end, and they will want him back in this game if they can get him.
Yeah, you don't want to lose him. Good to see that. It is fourth down, and Ardrey Kell will go for it. Just needing a yard. Morgan with the carry. Kicks to the outside, spins and wins and gets his first down.
He didn't get it by much. If he got it. I'm waiting on a signal from the referee. I didn't see the first down signal. Looks like the ball is almost right at the 15-yard line. They push it outside to the left. He tries to cut back to the inside on the Ortho Carolina instant replay. Pretty important tackle made there by Jake Schumacher. We'll see here. Is there a first down for? No, it's not. He didn't get that, did he?
Wow.
He came up short. So that tackle there by Jake Schumacher, the difference maker there in giving Marvin Ridge the ball back.
Yeah, ball at the 15-yard line. Marvin Ridge hustles onto the field. Time of the essence. Just 42 ticks left, but a good key stop there for the Mavericks to at least keep Morgan and Ardrey Kell from staying down here the rest of the first half.
No question.
So that's something to build on. Braden Rediger and his Mavericks.
Take a shot, but don't force it.
Timeout.
The last time out of the half there for the Mavericks of Marvin Ridge.
Use them, lose them, timeout.
Coach Carter did say, though, Corey, that he likes the chemistry of the team.
Yes.
Even though things aren't working the way Marvin Ridge wants to, you got a team that they get along. That seemed to be the message, even in some other interviews that I've seen, not just in talking to us, but he liked the way his team was gelling. And although they're starting off 0-2 and they're not doing too well in this game, he likes the group that he has.
I agree. Yeah, I got that from him as well when speaking to Coach Carter, and was pretty optimistic. And it's not as if his team's been shut out first 2 weeks of the season. I know they're in a little bit of a deficit here, but they've been in the first 2 games. Here goes Redinger. Trying to find a little bit of space back to the line of scrimmage as Marvin Ridge is hanging out at the 15-yard line. Clock continues to tick down. Now under half a minute left, second quarter.
The word he used was confident, not cocky. That's what Carter was talking about when he mentioned this team. And they've been through the fire. They do have some leadership, some seniors on this club. They have some upperclassmen, some veteran players. But it's been a season marred by injuries and some setbacks, and that's kind of how they've gotten to this 0-2 start now.
Marvin Ridge with some postseason experience last season. We've come to the end of half number 1. 35-3, Ardrey Kell leading Marvin Ridge. So it's halftime, and we saw the defense make a big play early on, and then a couple more, and then of course the offense joined in as well, Armand, and we get ready for halftime. But what a way to go to the locker room if you're here at home and you're Ardrey Kell.
Dominant first half on both sides of the ball. We saw interceptions. We saw balance offensively, the running game and the passing game. We saw Ethan Presetti just be spectacular. Yes. The way he's been last week and today as well. Just a wonderful start for Ardrey Kell.
It's the Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series powered by Ortho Carolina, getting ready for halftime here in South Charlotte. Again, 35-3, Ardrey Kell leading Marvin Ridge. So let's break for halftime. We'll come back, get you reset with some looks back and ready for quarter number 3 after halftime here in Charlotte.
At Ortho Carolina, personalized orthopedic care goes beyond my appointment. From the convenience of online scheduling to a friendly voice on the phone, I can schedule my visit on my time. And with after-hours urgent care and video visits, my pain doesn't have to be my problem anymore. Ortho Carolina, my care, my way. Schedule your appointment today at orthocarolina.com.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
At Ortho Carolina, personalized orthopedic care goes beyond my appointment. From the convenience of online scheduling to a friendly voice on the phone, I can schedule my visit on my time. And with after-hours urgent care and video visits, my pain doesn't have to be my problem anymore. Ortho Carolina, my care, my way. Schedule your appointment today at orthocarolina.com.
We're back in time now for Ardrey Kell's halftime performance. We'll jump away again, let you listen to that, take it in, and get you set for second half action. After this, here on the NFHS Network, the Ortho Carolina Charlotte Rivalry Series. Back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the field your 2022 Ardrey Kell Mighty Knight Marching Band. Tonight the band is proud to bring you a portion of this year's competition show, Super, featuring music from the 1927 film Metropolis, Marvel's Spider-Man for PlayStation, and On the Shoulders of Giants by composer Peter Gray. The band is under the leadership of directors Chris Kotchik and Preston Beck, and is led on the field by drum majors Marissa Harper, Michaela Myers, and Aiden Boyer. The band is preparing for an exciting season with competitions around the Carolinas, ending with a performance at the Bands of America Grand National Championships at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 Mighty Knight Marching Band presents Super. The Ardrey Kell Mighty Night Marching Band staff includes visual instructors John Surratt and Keenan Boswell, percussion instructors John Leonard, Jeremy Harris, and Richard Roddy, and color guard instructor Marquand McCoy. The show was designed by Jordan Lalama, with music arranged by Craig Fitzpatrick, percussion arranged by Matthew Black, and drill designed by Wes Pendergrass. We would like to recognize the generous support of our band sponsors, including the Pink Bow Campaign, Atlantic Oral Implant and Facial Surgery, Nothing But Noodles, Salsaritas, Sunflower Baking Company, Disinfecting Bubbles, and Jane Francis Cross with Carolina Realty Agents. Thank you for supporting the Ardrey Kell Mighty Night Marching Band.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
At Ortho Carolina, personalized orthopedic care goes beyond my appointment. From the convenience of online scheduling to a friendly voice on the phone, I can schedule my visit on my time. And with after-hours urgent care and video visits, my pain doesn't have to be my problem anymore. Ortho Carolina, my care, my way. Schedule your appointment today at orthocarolina.com.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars.
Wow.
But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
At Ortho Carolina, personalized orthopedic care goes beyond my appointment. From the convenience of online scheduling to a friendly voice on the phone, I can schedule my visit on my time. And with after-hours urgent care and video visits, my pain doesn't have to be my problem anymore. Ortho Carolina, my care, my way. Schedule your appointment today at orthocarolina.com.
Ortho Carolina, with expert sports medicine physicians and care providers in locations throughout the region. Ortho Carolina, one of the nation's leading orthopedic practices and your destination for comprehensive, personalized orthopedic care. At Ortho Carolina, we leverage our expertise from treating professional athletes and apply it to our entire patient community, from youth athletes to weekend warriors. We're dedicated to helping you return to peak performance with after-hours and walk-in urgent care, online scheduling, and convenient locations. Visit orthocarolina.com. Corey Hodges, Armand Brody, and team ready to go and getting you set, inching ever closer to the start of the third quarter. 35-3, Ardrey Kell leading Marvin Ridge, our first Charlotte High School football rivalry series powered by Ortho Carolina broadcast of the season. And Armand, before we jump away one more time and then get ready for the second half, I know it's a little lopsided out there with Ardrey Kell, of course, on the scoreboard, but we have seen that quickly growing in stature Ardrey Kell defense makes some big plays. Offenses look just as good.
It's really been a dominant performance, both ways. Offensively, they've been fantastic. Rossetti's been awesome. Morgan's been active. LeClaire's been making good plays offensively. Defensively, they got an interception from Kyler Watson. Watson's been disruptive as we thought he would be coming into this contest based on what we saw from him last week. And then you had the pick six for the touchdown by Chancellor Bryant. They're getting production and they're getting contributions from all over the place. There is nothing that's not clicking right now for Ardrey Kell, and that's why they have this 35-3 enormous advantage over Marvin Ridge.
Looking to go to maybe 3-0. We'll see how things continue as we get set for second half play. Again, 3-0 is the hope, of course, for Ardrey Kell. They put themselves in good position to do that, and this defense just continues to come alive, and a multitude of playmakers as well. Of course, we've seen the quarterback tonight, Josh LeClaire, a guy who can get active with his feet. Armand had a good arm tonight as well, and we'll see more of that second half. And also Switzer and Morgan wide out, and also on the ground with Switzer and Baylor Morgan. Those two in particular, especially Morgan.
Morgan's been active in this first half, but really at every level of their offense, they've got weapons. And then defensively, I think I'm more impressed, honestly, with what I've seen from them defensively, and that's kind of hard to say because of how great their offense has been, but Kyler Watson is just a dog. I was talking with Coach Jackum, and we were talking about Watson, and I didn't want him to say this, and I wouldn't ask him to say this, but he said Micah Parsons. I said Micah Parsons. That's what came to mind. But you just put him anywhere, and he makes things happen. He's such a disruptive force for that Ardrey Kell defense. It's just been one of those type of performances where you look and you say everything's working. Last week it was the second quarter for Cuthbertson. Tonight it was the first quarter for Ardrey Kell against Marvin Ridge.
Watson and that entire defense looking to come to play again once we get the third quarter underway. It's 35-3, and it's Ardrey Kell over Marvin Ridge. Second half on the way next. When we come back, it's the Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series powered by Ortho Carolina. Third quarter after this.
At Ortho Carolina, personalized orthopedic care goes beyond my appointment. From the convenience of online scheduling to a friendly voice on the phone, I can schedule my visit on my time. And with after-hours urgent care and video visits, my pain doesn't have to be my problem anymore. Ortho Carolina, my care, my way. Schedule your appointment today at orthocarolina.com.
Getting set now, third quarter action with Ardrey Kell leading Marvin Ridge. If there's lights to come back on, illuminate more of the field here at Ardrey Kell High School in South Charlotte. And these two teams meeting here in a rivalry game. Again, located so close to one another, and both coaches talked about that with us earlier this week. Armand Brody, Carter, and Jackum for Marvin Ridge and Ardrey Kell respectively. And it's kind of turned into something, and that's kind of how it works when you're playing your neighbor, really.
Yeah, and I want to say this too. Marvin Ridge, their crowd, they have a great showing here tonight. It's not been the kind of start they've wanted in this first half, but their crowd came out to support. It's just one of the great things about high school football, the pageantry and the band and the celebration and the atmosphere and the lights, the Friday night lights. It all comes together to make high school football so special. And even though this game has not gone the way of Marvin Ridge, their crowd has been supportive. You're taking a look at them there. That entire section is just about filled up there. So it's one of those things that happens when you get those cities that are pretty close to those schools that are pretty close to one another. Look at those fans right there. Look at the student section. That's a huge student section. Great support for Marvin Ridge in this game. Even though they're struggling right now, the fans are in full throat. They're pretty excited about what they're seeing here still. You gotta love it.
What a fantastic shot by our guys up top to zoom in close and get that sea of white, and even got the little smoke going out there as well, and kind of giving it that little cloud of anticipation, if you will, to get the second half ready to go. And we are ready too.
You know, it's weird, Corey, because when you're young, you go to the games to watch the game and to just sort of be around older people, and then you get a little bit older and you just go to be seen a little bit. Right. You go to the game, you're not watching the game, you're walking around, you're looking for your friends, you're trying to court some girl. There's so many little things going on in a high school football game that makes it so fun.
Look at me. Friday night.
I wore my best clothes on to those high school games.
I'm fresh.
Man.
Come on, check me out.
Best. I wouldn't even wear them during the school day.
No.
I would save them for the game Friday night.
You didn't want to get anything on them. You know?
Like a bum during the day, but man, when Friday night came, you couldn't tell me anything.
Let's go. Same stories being lived out here tonight. That's into the end zone and off the hands of Jeremiah Leszewski. So Marvin Ridge gets it first to start a fresh 12 here in the third quarter. In operation, pretty simple here, Armand. You got to get down, score a touchdown. That's what Marvin Ridge hasn't done tonight.
It's something positive, you know.
Yeah.
We saw a bit of a transition there late towards the end of the first half, they opened the offense up from more of an option standpoint, and they let Redinger make some plays on the ground. We'll see if that continues here as we start the second half.
Redinger back. Redinger tosses. Just got it out of trouble and found his running back on the move. And that's Jeremiah Leszewski's second down.
Leszewski is a good back for them. He hasn't had an opportunity to show everything that he can do, but they really like what he brings to the table. We talked with Coach Carter, and he has a lot of confidence in this guy. You see, he's their main return guy also.
More of a slashing running back. Redinger, pressure, goes deep, looking downfield, caught, Jackson Gibbs, and now Gibbs is gone for Marvin Ridge's first touchdown of the night on one big pass play, and Gibbs just roars to the end zone. What a way to start the third quarter for the Marvin Ridge Mavericks.
We mentioned that Gibbs had missed a lot of time last year. He's working on Hudson Roller. He just goes up, makes the catch, and he sheds Roller as Ortho Carolina's instant replay shows it to us. And once he gets rid of Roller, he rolls down the field and into the end zone for that 6 points.
That's exactly what Marvin Ridge was looking for. Get Gibbs going.
And we talked about it in the first half. He is their guy. Jackson Gibbs and Cole Seawright, those are the two threats that you hear Coach Carter talk about. You got to get those guys the ball and make something happen.
Extra point up by more is good. So it's now 35-10. The deficit cut to 25, and inroads being made on that connection deep by Redinger to Jackson Gibbs. And Gibbs, one of those guys that Marvin Ridge wants to spread the ball around to. And he's a stat guy, can really stuff it in terms of stat numbers, especially through the air. They always talk now, especially fantasy football, air yards. Well, Gibbs got a whole heaping pile of those air yards that time. Redinger found the one-on-one coverage, and Gibbs won the battle.
It's amazing what happens when you get the right pieces that you want in place, and your top performers is what I'm trying to say. Your top performers able to get in place and make the big plays that you need. And Jackson Gibbs is one of those guys, a key contributor to this offense and a big play for Marvin Ridge. Sometimes you get it a little bit by a little bit, and then sometimes you get man coverage on the outside, which is what they wanted, and Gibbs knew he had the advantage on Roller that time.
Pretty catch, then turned around and went the rest of the way. That just took out 25 seconds of the third quarter, and that's not just quick strike offense, that is quick strike offense for Marvin Ridge. Kickoff, and that'll go into the end zone for a touchback with Stankiewicz back there standing. So here's Ardrey Kell, who again just controlled this game early and often. Talk so much about their defense, Armand. They came out and just piled up points, quickly built a multiple touchdown lead, but at least now they've got a little bit of pressure to try to respond to what Marvin Ridge just did.
Yeah, let's see how they respond. Let's see what LeClaire and the guys do. LeClaire can use his legs, and we talked about it in the first half. More of a dual threat guy compared to the guy they had last year, Jack Curtis. But a guy like LeClaire with all the weapons they have, LeClaire does not have to be a miracle worker. Use the offense and the weapons they have on the outside, have a fundamentally sound offensive line as well. That was the word that was given to us by Coach Jackal.
Drive starts at the 20-yard line. Pass complete. And again, it's Persutti looking exactly like he did on the pass by Josh LeClaire to start the game back just past 7 o'clock. And that's the way that Ardrey Kell starts quarter 3.
Persutti's limping a little bit. Ortho Carolina instant replay shows us that slant. And watch that again, that little left leg, a little gimpy there. Hopefully he's okay. He didn't have to come off the field after making that catch.
It's good for Persutti, who again closed down last week's big win over Cuthbertson for Ardrey Kell with 3 straight touchdowns, all in the air and all from LeClaire. LeClaire finds the out route to Stankiewicz, who then runs ahead looking for some blocking. Past the 45 to the 48-yard line, that close to midfield for Ardrey Kell.
And Stankiewicz just want to get him out in space and see what he can do. And once you do that, heaven knows what happens. Jake Schumacher made that tackle, and Schumacher made that key tackle on the 4th down that stopped Ardrey Kell towards the end of the first half.
2nd and 2. Ball on the 48 for Ardrey Kell.
Plenty of time on the play clock here, looking for that exact call from the offensive coordinator.
Leclerc gets it, already looking. Finds his receiver, Stankiewicz. Stankiewicz with a hard couple of hits. Cleared past the 50 to pick up a first down, but he really wore it.
Looks like he made Parker Ludwig really sort of dropped him in his shoes there as he made that nice little cut, trying to get more space to pick up that first down.
Nate rolls in on that tackle too, one of the trio quartet that joined Stankiewicz. Does pick up a first down and just into Marvin Ridge territory by a yard. The Knights of Ardrey Kell. Handoff goes to Baylor Morgan, and Morgan got tripped up, probably cost him another 10 yards there because he was gone right up the chute, 2nd down.
I talked about it a moment ago, but I do feel it's worth elaborating on. Jackham said his offensive line, we're not the biggest offensive line that you're going to find, but he did say that his guys were fundamentally sound. They block well, they know their assignments, they play gaps well.
2nd down from the 43-yard line.
Once again, plenty of time. They run without a huddle, and then they turn over and get the play call they like from the offensive coordinator.
Leclerc fakes it, now takes it past the 40 to the 35. Leclerc out at the 25.
It's going to be a late hit, too. Just hit out of bounds after picking up that first down. He put quite a move on number 14, Michael Quinn, though, to get to the outside. Ortho Carolina instant replay. Watch Quinn here, and gets to the outside, picks up the first down, and then the late hit there around the lower legs by Nate Walls. I think that's the hit that they called for the personal foul.
Yeah, good call, Armand. You're right. It's got in there close on Leclerc and already knew he was going to have that first down, and then get some extra yardage with Ardrey Kell after that penalty is assessed and added in. So Ardrey Kell on the move.
So if you're Marvin Ridge, you get something positive. You get a quick strike, long touchdown to one of your best players. And then Ardrey Kell, I mean, just like that, they come right back down the field, and now you're right back on your heels again as a defense. You got almost a 3-minute drive here from Ardrey Kell, just once again wearing Marvin Ridge's defense down.
Leclerc fires, caught on the outside to Stankiewicz. And he is at the 6-yard line and goes down there. It'll be 2nd and goal.
So Stankiewicz is getting the Persetti treatment from the first quarter. We're looking for him as often as we can find him and trying to get him active in this second half.
Yard to gain marker is just past the 5, so it'll be 2nd and 4 here, not in goal-to-go distance yet for Ardrey Kell. They can pick it up. It'll be Josh Leclerc to keep it, and Leclerc met defensively by J.T. Etheridge, 3rd down.
First time we've heard from Etheridge in this game. Number 71 plays on the offensive line and the defensive line, one of the sophomores on this team. And it's a Marvin Ridge team looking for more veteran leadership, but once again they've had some injury problems, and so your younger guys have to step up and make plays when they're called upon.
Morgan will hop over to the right of Josh Leclerc. 3rd down and 2. Leclerc rolling, looking, fires, incomplete. Had a target, Wyatt Hendricks, who caught a touchdown in the first half. That one falls away, and it's 4th down.
Good job by number 6 of Marvin Ridge, Finley Mitchell there. We've talked about him, one of their key linebackers, and he made that play to make sure that quarterback did not get away from him. He kept him in his sights and made a nice play there, preventing that first down from happening and causing that pass to come up just a wee bit short. There you're looking at Mitchell right there.
Good to see our first field goal opportunity tonight for Andrew Bonteco. And all touchdowns, defensive scores. Bonteco looking for an old-fashioned 3, and he gets it. 38-10. The field goal answers the last touchdown by Marvin Ridge. Just over 7 ticks left in quarter number 3. mentioned some of those great stories earlier. We wanted to touch on that. We will here shortly, but you got to know about this great Ardrey Kell player who's been putting up some numbers at UNC with the Tar Heels, and how that gives some inspiration to some of these players still here. Deer Park, during the North Carolina high school football season, Deer Park 100% natural spring water, honoring one team from each classification with the Deer Park Fueled by Nature Team of the Week Award. Teams selected through the season will be eligible to win the Fueled by Nature Team of the Year Award. For more information and to nominate your team today, scan that QR code. It's on your screen right now. Deer Park, one of our sponsors for the Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series, powered by Ortho Carolina. Deer Park 2. 38-10 is our score. And after the field goal for Ardrey Kell, Knights kick it away back to Marvin Ridge. The Gibbs touchdown for Marvin Ridge maybe got some energy back going. See what they do on this next touch of the football. Return. Scurrying. Past the 30. And rolled up. Jeremiah Leszewski did everything he could to find any extra bit of space, Armand. That's tough work.
Yeah, I mean, he got a short kickoff there, and Leszewski did everything he could to try to get as much yardage as he could. And he did a pretty nice job there. A lot of scampering and cutting and slashing and dashing there.
So Marvin Ridge comes back out. The return for Leszewski came out to the 32-yard line, so that's where this next possession will start for the Mavericks.
I bet Rediger would love another big play to Jackson Gibbs there. They're playing a little tighter on him now at the bottom of your screen.
Rediger will hand off to Clayton Kelly. Kind of goes split between Kelly and Leszewski in terms of the carries for Marvin Ridge. They have split them for the first 2 games of the season. Looks like that continues now here into third game action of 2022.
I did love watching number 21 Hudson Roller just now on that last play for Ardrey Kell, looking at Jackson Gibbs as if to say, okay, you beat me one time, but I ain't scared of you, dude.
You knew that was going to happen. Look at Rediger. Now he's going to go opposite side deep. Flag comes in, more than likely pass interference. The target looked to be Brody Keefe on the far side.
Yeah, Joshua Clemens, I think, number 20, is going to get caught for this pass interference on that far side for Ardrey Kell. But I like this, man. They are taking their shots. When they see one-on-one coverage, Ortho Carolina instant replay, when they see one-on-one coverage, they are going down the field. A ton of contact there, and that's the right call there as Clemens is draped all over the intended target, Brody Keefe, a guy that they have a lot of love for on this Marvin Ridge staff. He's, according to our roster sheet, he's the only freshman on the roster, so making a key impact on this club early in his high school career.
Yeah, head coach Aubrey Carter talking about Keefe, and big part of their offense, of course. So the pass interference call gets Marvin Ridge almost into Ardrey Kell territory. Rediger fires it, caught. Again, the target is Keefe, and Brody Keefe is tackled just past the 5-yard line. He, like Gibbs, almost went the rest of the distance, but all of a sudden, this Marvin Ridge passing game is lighting up.
And sometimes you just need that one big play. Ortho Carolina instant replay shows us good job of stepping up. He takes a big hit there, does Rediger. And that's a tough throw to make, and that's a tough catch to make also. Keefe had to extend himself to make that grab, and then he races down the field to get more yardage.
Handoff goes to Clayton Kelly, and Kelly. Is he just short? Did he break the plane? Waiting on the call for Kelly, who carried the football.
I didn't see a touchdown signal. They're talking this thing over. The near side official said that a touchback. They're saying touchback, so a turnover. The ball went through the end zone, and oh, what a heartbreaker for Marvin Ridge. What a tough call and what a tough break there. The ball, you see it, it's inside the pylon. It goes through the end zone, and that's enough to turn it over and give the ball back to Ardrey Kell. That is a heartbreaker.
That's about as bad as it can get for Kelly, who looked like he was in for the score. and just that close to going back-to-back drives with a touchdown. You're right. That really hurts Marvin Ridge.
And you know, it reminds me of the first half. They go for it on the fourth down. They don't get it. You get a tip and an interception. You get a pick six. It's just been a tough break, man. Just those little plays like that. It really hurts to see that. You know, these players are giving it everything they've got. Another promising drive. They get that long pass play, sets them up in the red zone, and they're unable to capitalize on it.
So you know what a touchback means? Bring it out to the 20-yard line, and Ardrey Kell just gets the football right back after they were almost burned for a score. And suddenly the tides change quite demonstrably, as again the carry goes to Baylor Morgan. And it's unfortunate in more ways than one, Armand, because Marvin Ridge now looks like they're starting to get some weapons going, something they didn't have a lot in the first half, but now they've got some other things kind of crowding them a bit.
You get both Jackson Gibbs and now Brody Keefe, the freshman, moving the ball down the field, and then you run into a brick wall, and it can really be deflating, but maybe their defense can stand tall here.
Second down, LeClaire gets it out quick to Morgan, who's tackled at the 25-yard line. That'll bring up third down. If nothing else, Marvin Ridge an opportunity to play some defense on third down.
Now you bring in some substitutions here, and let's see. I have not seen Ethan Presetti touch the ball. He got injured on that last drive. He came up a little gimpy.
Third down and 5. Ball at the 25. LeClaire finds his target, links up with Brooks Stankovic right to midfield and the 50-yard line, and that moves them and then some for Ardrey Kell.
They've been finding the middle of the field on more than one occasion. Just great vision that time. Ortho Carolina instant replay. Pocket holds up well for him. That's a tough pass to make. He's got to really put that on the money, does the quarterback LeClaire. He puts that right where Stankovic can get it, and Stankovic picks up the first down.
It's a fresh set with one injured player down on the other side for Marvin Ridge. That looks to be Cole Seawright, someone that you do not want to lose if you're Marvin Ridge. He's being addressed now with just under 5 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Kind of gives us that pause that we were looking for, Armand. And this great story for Ardrey Kell. So many, of course. I mean, it's not just one, but in particular, you know, talk about someone who's a student athlete and everything that goes along with that, but also giving themselves a chance to do a little bit more for their community. In the case of what's gone on so far the last year or two for a dear friend, and for Ardrey Kell, it really all goes back to the long snapper, Jack Mowry. He has those opportunities to be one of the best long snappers in the country, and Jack Mowry is one of the best, and he has a great story as well. We'll touch on it in a second. First down right from midfield. Toss. Baylor Morgan. Morgan to the 42-yard line. This drive continues after the tough break from Marvin Ridge on a touchback call that gave them the ball back right on the doorstep of the end zone.
Get good yardage there on that first down, though. Sets up your second and short. You can call anything you want here. You've got great field position right now. You've got a position where you can throw the ball down the field. You know you have a third and short if you don't come up with what you want here. You've got plenty of options, and the playbook is wide open for Ardrey Kell right here.
Second down and 4. Handoff again goes to Baylor Morgan. Morgan absorbing multiple hits, and then clatters his way to the 32-31-yard line. And that's a first down for the night.
This dude is so physical, man. I mean, how do you bring him down? I don't know. You don't bring him down on the first hit. Sometimes you don't bring him down on the second hit. If you don't grab him low and get those legs, he's going to keep churning, man. And even when you grab him, it's no guarantee that he's going to stop.
That's the reason why the running back Morgan has gone 100+ in both of the first 2 games of the season, and he'll work his way towards doing that again tonight. Probably pretty close by now. First down, LeClaire quickly gets it out. Catch made by Ali Shalati, far side, right at the yard to gain marker. be second down and just one coming up here for Ardrey Kell.
One of the upperclassmen on this Ardrey Kell offense. He's got a lot of company. I'll tell you about it in a second if I get a chance.
2nd and 1, Baylor. Morgan trying to follow some blockers and then heaves ahead to pick up a first down.
So before the game, as the first down is picked up, before the game, I'm walking outside, I'm looking around, there are all these banners of all the seniors. There are 33 senior banners outside behind us there. This is a veteran team, a team full of experienced players. And to a man, they'll tell you, we expect to go all the way this year. They've gotten close, no cigar, but we expect this to be the year where we push this thing over the top.
I'm telling you, if you're looking for a defense that'll carry you to that point, this is the one right here. LeClaire, incomplete. A rarity tonight, but can't link up with Ben Kirsch. 2nd down.
I don't believe Persutti's been back in the game since he came up limping there. And maybe he's okay. I'm trying to see him on the sideline right now. I don't see him. There he is. I'm able to spot him. He's got his helmet off. He's holding his helmet in his right hand. And so number 19 for Ardrey Kell, maybe he doesn't come in right now because they're up 28 points and he may not be unnecessary, but hopefully he's okay, but he's not in there right now.
2nd down from the 19-yard line. Give it here to Morgan, but Morgan went nowhere. The pressure from Charles Lipscomb took him down. And Morgan stopped in his tracks. 3rd down.
You can take a look at Persutti. He's been so active, had 4 touchdowns. We told you about it last week. 4 touchdowns against Cuthbertson, and got off to a great start in this game here. And just to sort of holding his helmet, that's an encouraging sign. You want to see him standing up rather than somewhere in the locker room because he's unable to be out on the field at all.
Yard to gain is just past the 10. Here comes LeClaire. Drops, fires, hooks up with Stankiewicz, who will be short by a number of yards of the first down. That's 4th down. As again, no issues tonight for LeClaire to get that ball out quick. The 4th down coming up for Ardrey Kell.
Stankiewicz is so shifty, man. As soon as he gets the ball, he's moving. His feet are going. It is hard to catch him. So Morgan's a guy who's hard to break down, and Stankiewicz is a guy who's hard to catch.
What do you want? Try to handle both of those. LeClaire on 3rd down, tosses back of the end zone, but incomplete.
Looks like Stankiewicz again. No, that's actually Wyatt Hendricks, number 3. And just a bit too tall for him. Hendricks has a touchdown here tonight, but could not bring that one in. And if you're Marvin Ridge, that's another win. You do force another stop, and you force another field goal. Although Carolina instant replay shows it to us, he had to sort of turn a little bit, and the pass ended up just a touch behind him. He wasn't able to bring that one in, and it forces the 4th down.
So again, Hendricks was eyeing down that 2nd score of the night, had one in the first half, but just through the hands, so a rare incompletion in the end zone that time for Ardrey Kell, so that will bring back out the Marvin Ridge offense led by Braden Rediger. Of course, incomplete inside the 20-yard line, so the ball will be snapped at the 12. New drive starts for Marvin Ridge, and that is incomplete. And now Gibbs is a little hurt. Holds down towards the lower body. Jackson Gibbs just overran the route. 2nd down.
I want to correct myself. I say that forced the 4th down and actually forced the turnover on downs. But Marvin Ridge now with the ball and an opportunity to do something good. And the last thing they need is number 1 Jackson Gibbs to be hurt. Hopefully he's just grabbing at that left hamstring there. He may need to come off the field. He's limping quite noticeably.
Making sure he's got the correct signal there for this quarterback.
He's not right, Corey. No. He does not need to be on the field.
No, you said it, Armand. He is not in the right position right now, at least health-wise. He is gimpy near side. That one incomplete. Misfiring to Cooper Penny was Rediger. And it's 3rd down.
Jackson Gibbs is trying to tough it out, but I'm watching him here, and he's running to the sideline, but he's laboring, actually. That's a better word for it. He's coming off the field now. And that right hamstring looks like he started grabbing after it, and that play was never going to happen for him. He's throwing his helmet off in disgust.
Yeah, he's down on the field trying to stretch it out himself right now without the aid of a trainer. Third down here for Marvin Ridge. Ball still at the 12-yard line. Rediger, deep, incomplete. Overthrowing his wideout, Mark Arthur, fourth down.
I didn't know that we would get this many deep balls from Marvin Ridge here coming into this game, but we have. And I tell you what, got to give Rediger credit. He is fearless with the deep pass. And we've seen some work and we've seen some not work, but he's willing to take those deep shots. The offensive line held up pretty well for him that time. Just couldn't connect with his intended target, Arthur.
So that's fourth down, and Marvin Ridge ready to punt with 1:05 left, third quarter. Definitely so. Rediger has really started to uncork it quite a bit. Punt away from Jackson Moore. Bounces. And two from Marvin Ridge. Get to it to watch it make its final roll. McNeil and LaPena down there to stare it down.
Corey, I wonder if that ball wasn't touched back at the 48-yard line by Clayton Kelly of Marvin Ridge. They're bringing the ball forward. I do think that ball touched Kelly. They're going to mark it there at the 49. Let's take another look at the Ortho Carolina instant replay. Right there, it hits Clayton Kelly. He did not want it to hit him because they lost about another 10 or 15 yards there. But that ball did bump him at the 48-yard line, and so the ball goes to Ardrey Kell in positive territory.
New drive gets ready to start for the Knights. Just 50 seconds left, third quarter. 38-10, scoring has slowed down a bit for Ardrey Kell, but still up by 3+ scores. 4 scores to be exact. Quick catch, quick toss as well to Toy Ellis. Second down.
Still had a pretty clean game, though, all things considered. Not a lot of mistakes from a penalty standpoint, so that's encouraging. Hopefully Jackson Gibbs is okay.
Yeah, kind of one on each side,
yeah,
in a way, you know.
Persetti and Gibbs, two of the best players on the field, too.
I know, that's something to watch for sure for each of these teams, each of their star wideouts, with a little something to watch injury-wise with week 4 coming up after we wrap it here. LeClaire booms it. Caught, took a hard hit to Jalen Toy Ellis, who absorbed all of it once he hit the deck.
And that was a big hit. That was a big hit. Great catch made by Toy Ellis. He had to adjust to get it, but he got nailed when he caught that football. Let's hope he's okay. Another look at it from Ortho Carolina instant replay.
I don't know if I want another look.
And yeah, it just one of those things that happens. Looks like Cole Seawright, number 10, came after him and took it right. Looks like maybe in the chest area, and that one's tough.
Clock runs down to the end of quarter number 3, where it's 38-10. Ardrey Kell. All the attention now, of course, on Toy Ellis to make sure he's okay. He jumps up. We'll get ready now for quarter number 4 on the other side. The Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series powered by Ortho Carolina. Back after this to South Charlotte.
At Ortho Carolina, personalized orthopedic care goes beyond my appointment. From the convenience of online scheduling to a friendly voice on the phone, I can schedule my visit on my time. And with after-hours urgent care and video visits, my pain doesn't have to be my problem anymore. Ortho Carolina, my care, my way. Schedule your appointment today at orthocarolina.com.
Tonight's broadcast of the Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series, powered by Ortho Carolina, brought to you by Ortho Carolina, with expert physicians and care providers in locations throughout the region. Ortho Carolina, one of the nation's leading orthopedic practices, in your destination for comprehensive, personalized orthopedic care. Visit orthocarolina.com. After hours, walk-in urgent care, online scheduling, convenient locations. We're back, quarter number 4, just a couple seconds in. Corey Hodges, Armand Brody, and the entire team. 1 down, actually 2 down injured here for Marvin Ridge, Armand, and they're being looked at just 7 seconds into the 4th.
You know, we talked about the weather and we talked about how hot it is and still summertime. It looks like we may have some cramps here right now. and it was a concern. We talked about it towards the open of our broadcast, but weather and heat, it does play a toll on you, and sometimes those cramps do take place.
Just arm up there.
And Samarion McNeil, one of their defensive backs, number 4.
You see McNeil there limping off a bit, favoring one side over the other.
Say this, though, of all the things that could be wrong, you'd rather it be cramps than something much more serious. So let's hope that's all it is here. We also got number 92. We've heard from him early. He was injured, I think, earlier in the game. Amani Achabwa, one of their key defensive contributors, one of their sack leaders from a year ago. And he's grabbing behind around that hamstring area as well as he limps off the field.
Another guy you just can't have an injury to. He's already got 1 sack tonight. Continues his 2021 sack numbers. He's probably the most disruptive force for Marvin Ridge in terms of getting pressure and contact on the quarterback. Once again, something to watch for Takwa. LeClaire with Baylor Morgan in the backfield. Give now to Morgan, finds some space, scuttles ahead to the 10-yard line.
Typically, you see Morgan sort of being more powerful and smash mouth, but that time he showed a little bit of scat ability to cut, waited on his blocks to try and develop there, showed some patience and tried to find the hole and got a nice gain of 5 yards on that first down. Just want to add that Persutti is still not in the game, and it doesn't look like we'll see him again tonight.
Tonight may be done for Persutti, not done yet for LeClaire. Almost a touchdown into the hands and then out of Christian Davis. He had it about halfway, and then it just ping-ponged out. 3rd down.
Tough pass to make, and just a little bit off target as Ortho Carolina's instant replay shows it to us. Offensive line holds up pretty well. It's just a little bit behind Davis, and it had to sort of be thrown when it was because there was a defender there. And you didn't want to pick up the interception if you're the quarterback, Josh LeClaire. Just a little bit behind his target.
Wait, Ryan, where is it?
3rd down from the 10. Josh LeClaire rolls, pressure, got out of it. Again scurries past the defender and out on the far side at the 10-yard line.
Oh, we see flags now.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime you get a quarterback along the boundary, some bad things are liable to happen. That's a personal foul. It's going to go against Marvin Ridge. Josh LeClaire, he's one of those targets. He's one of those guys, I should say, those quarterbacks, he can hurt you throwing the ball or running it. Ortho Carolina instant replay showing it to us. As he gets toward the sideline, he cuts it inside and then is trying to move outside, and just a sort of a launch there coming from, I believe that was Finley Mitchell, number 6, and I think that may have been where the penalty came.
Yeah, that was definitely on Mitchell as he just kind of torpedoed it in on the quarterback, Josh LeClaire.
And not a dirty play, just trying to make a tackle, just trying to make a play and keep LeClaire from getting into the end zone. But that is a penalty.
LeClaire now with Baylor Morgan to his right. Penalty yardage makes the 3rd down a bit easier. Here goes Baylor Morgan. Clatters ahead and eventually stopped. Could not overcome the defense of one Nate Rolls. 4th down.
Still did a great job. Good tackle there by Rawls, but did a great job of making number 18 Carson Hawkins miss there. And like I said, we've seen an expanded game from Morgan. There's a flag down. I thought I heard a penalty call there for a hold on the offensive Ardrey Kell. I didn't see the flag, but they are moving back, so that will go against the Knights.
So 3rd down now, even longer.
Still 3rd down.
Ball will be placed just inside the 20-yard line. Makes it 3rd and long. Morgan now directly behind the quarterback. That's Josh LeClaire. Now he moves off to his hip. LeClaire drops. Got it away, complete. Now the ball's out. Marvin Ridge has the football. Far side. And out finally at the 10-yard line. Jackson Gibbs makes another appearance back in the game. He may have hurt himself again, but he returns that one almost to the other side.
Jackson Gibbs, so valuable. Ortho Carolina instant replay, and we're looking at it right now, having to be stretched out. But just another great play made by him. The catch is made, and an immediate fumble. He picks it up, and you know he's a little bit gimpy from the last possession, but he gives it everything he's got, racing down the far sideline, trying to score 6 points for his team. That is why when he was out last year, they could feel his absence, and now that he is back in the rotation, they are more than delighted to have him back on this squad.
You see the impact Gibbs makes through the air offensively and also defensively. It was good to see Gibbs back in the game. Got back in awfully quick, maybe now affecting that hamstring, that lower body a little bit more. He's back up under his own power. Talking about gritting it out in his last couple minutes. Jackson Gibbs just not going to take a play off, and he comes through with the first pick of the night, the first big defensive play for Marvin Ridge. Ball at the 10-yard line. Kelly in the backfield. And Redinger. His Mavericks ready to go. It's a 28-point game, but one good play here. 2 plays could get Marvin Ridge back into the end zone.
Marvin Ridge has shown a lot of fight and a lot of toughness in this second half, Corey. A lot to be proud of there.
It looked like almost a completely different team. Redinger under duress, under a lot of pressure, and goes down. Ultimately tracked down by Austin Settles, who eventually brings it down. And it's second down coming up for Marvin Ridge.
Redinger a little slow to get up, and Ortho Carolina instant replay will show it to us. He's trying to get away, but just too many gray shirts. 1, 2, 3, 4. He takes that big hit in the left shoulder. May have been the reason that it took him a little bit of time to get back up.
So the ball gets backed up now to the 20-yard line. Redinger still with Kelly, his backfield teammate. Redinger, pressure again. Redinger goes down. Now Ardrey Kell is dialing it up. Let's bring a new one in. It's James Sept who comes in to get Redinger. Third down.
There's also a flag down too, and I wonder if it's a hold against Marvin Ridge, and it is. They'll decline that, obviously. We talked about it earlier. 11 sacks last week for Ardrey Kell. It's not been 11 in this game, but they have been visiting the backfield quite a bit. Ortho Carolina instant replay allows us to take another look at it. They bring 5, and it's just too much. A big burst right up the middle. Just too much for Redinger to handle. The running back can't slow him down, and the sack is made there by James Sept. He cut a step or two and got into the backfield.
Sept with one last P. 2 P's for James Sept.
And a sack.
That's right. See where the ball is placed here. It'll be plopped down at the 26-yard line. Third down for Marvin Ridge. Redinger, pressure again. Now Redinger is under fire on almost every snap. Redinger, now he's going to take a hard hit. Goes down again. Back-to-back pressure comes from Austin Settles. Fourth down, as Ardrey Kell brought the heat on the Marvin Ridge quarterback.
That time, if you're Redinger, I know you're trying to make a play there, but you probably want to throw that ball away. There's nothing down the field, and you would rather it be, if you're going to attempt a field goal, you'd rather it be much closer than what you have now. I mean, it's sort of a lose-lose either way. Ortho Carolina instant replay allows us to take another look at it. He rolls to his left. There's nothing there. He had a moment to throw that thing away, and he wasn't able to do it, and he paid the price for it.
This is going to wind up being a 50-plus yard field goal attempt, more than likely 54 here. Not quite the distance. Good effort, but off.
Man, if that was about maybe 3 or 4 yards shorter, though, he may have had that.
Moore was trying for it, just came up short. Need a little extra distance right at the tail end. It'll stay 38-10.
You know, we have plenty of stories
yes,
from this Ardrey Kell team, Corey, and I'm looking forward to hearing you set that up here and talking about it at some point in this fourth quarter.
Well, this is the perfect time, to do something like that. Ardrey Kell, and again, you're right, Armand, about all this. One of the good stories, it's not the big personal interest story, but Cedric Gray, who plays now for UNC in the Tar Heels, he's probably the one with the big banner right now leading things for Ardrey Kell in terms of being someone in college who has gone on to really bring this program into some spotlight territory. And Gray has been impressive in a couple seasons with the Tar Heels as Jack Davids takes it that time for the night, second down. But especially, too, when you look at Greg Jackham's team, Armand, really, really proud about what they've seen out of Cedric Gray, said, as they call him, and it gives someone for everyone, not just in the school, but on the football team, varsity especially, to look at this guy, to see, look where he's gotten to. Let's go ahead and listen to what Coach Jackham says, because look who he put into Chapel Hill. Handoff, again, Jake Davids up the middle, third down coming up for Ardrey Kell.
When you see guys like that performing, they become standard bearers for your team, and they become people that you look at and say, okay, this is a mark for us to reach in the future. And we know that being in this program and having this kind of culture established can help us get to that point.
Exactly. And Cedric Gray is a great player. And again, someone who's already played in 25 college games, just had a good one against Florida A&M back on the 27th with some nice defensive plays. And Ardrey Kell is happy, very happy with their graduate, Cedric Gray, going on to big things. Into the hands of Toy Ellis. Jalen Toy Ellis is still up, now down at the 30. Check that. That was Jake Davids again who had the football. Davids really coming alive. A flag is down.
So just when you thought you didn't have any more weapons left for Ardrey Kell, here comes Jake Davids, who can play some quarterback and play some defensive back, a junior on this team. And he's had a couple of nice runs, and that one, of course, leading them down the field close to the 30-yard line of Marvin Ridge.
Davids listed as a defensive back and a quarterback. Technically, we've got two quarterbacks in the backfield right now. Hand off, one QB to the other as LeClaire gets it to Davids, and Davids ahead to the 25-yard line. Bring up second down.
I love number 51, Elijah Smith, saying, hey, don't you throw a flag on me. I'm just doing my job. He had a pretty good block there on that last possession, too, but say, listen, man, I'm innocent. Don't throw it. You see my hands are back. I didn't grab. I didn't hold. Don't even think about throwing a flag.
Second down, got another player down. Quickly back up, though. It's
Jack Ludwig.
We go under 6 minutes to play. And the other great story for Ardrey Kell is all of the work that their long snapper has been doing so far this season. It's really been impressive with what he's done, and that's, of course, Jack Lowry, and everything that's gone into his work, not only on the field, but also to give some attention back to his good friend. More on that in a second. We wanted to make sure to mention it because it is a really inspiring story. We're just under 6 minutes to go tonight. 38-10, Ardrey Kell looking for that 3-0 start. Backfield now comes Wyatt Hendricks alongside LeClaire. Give Davids a spell here. Hendricks comes in. Now he's taking turns in the backfield. Check that. That is Austin Rotman who comes in. Rotman now in the backfield and goes ahead close to the 20-yard line. Third down. Actually was enough to pick up the first. So first down, 20-yard line here for Ardrey Kell. With a number of substitutions now in, especially in the backfield, but the present force continues to be LeClaire at quarterback. First down from the 20. Still Rotman in the backfield.
You're taking plenty of time off this play clock, too.
Yeah. 4:46 and counting, just letting it run. All the way down to 0 now on the play clock. Took so much time that the play clock actually expired.
Too much time.
Yeah. You get 25 seconds. Ardrey Kell just used them all.
Don't need to be in a hurry, but you do have only 25 seconds there.
Gets down to about 3, 2, 1. You got to hustle.
It's been a great night, though, for Ardrey Kell. Man, it started in the first half, and they never let up. And even though they've slowed down a bit here in the second half, they had the game well in hand. Been a great performance for them.
They started hot. They've really been able to ride that 4-touchdown lead early. Again, here's Rotman with the carry. And Rotman searching out that yard to gain marker right at the 10-yard line.
Number 31.
Carries in the backfield right now for Austin Rotman for Ardrey Kell. Kind of taking over for Baylor Morgan in the backfield with 4 minutes to play. And Ardrey Kell, maybe time for one more score tonight on their way to 3-0.
Rotman solid himself, too.
Yes, he's looked good back there. See LeClaire here work the clock down again to single digits. 7 seconds on that clock. Hand it to Austin Rotman.
Number 31.
Gets ahead.
Austin Rotman on the carry.
Second and short,
that's
only second and 2.
Ardrey
Rotman got those needed yards. Ball now will be placed inside the 10 at the 9-yard line.
It's great to see those players who maybe don't get those starting minutes, get their opportunities to shine and make some key contributions down the stretch also.
First down from inside the green zone, as it's called, inside that 10-yard line. Rotman still in the backfield. He just keeps getting carries. Austin Rotman will go ahead and jumble his way inside the 5-yard line.
Running off that right side, offensive line, they've kept Josh LeClaire pretty clean tonight, too. It's been another exceptional part of their approach, and Josh LeClaire is our player of the game. We've kept our eye on him, and he's just been a marvelous performer. And it's kind of hard to just pick one, but you got to go with LeClaire because as the quarterback, he set the tone for this ball game here tonight for Ardrey Kell.
Player of the game, our Ortho Carolina player of the game, the quarterback Josh LeClaire for Ardrey Kell. Another handoff for Rotman, who gets about 3. He's down at the 2-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down as the clock will get under 2 minutes. Ball more than likely snapped with just over 90 seconds left coming up.
And it started early for LeClaire, too, talking about his performance first half, getting the ball to multiple targets. Brasutti had an active first half. And then even in the second half, we saw a lot from Brooks Stankiewicz. And also he's shown the ability to put the ball on the floor, on the field rather, and take off with his legs. And it's been another aspect of his game that just makes him that much more of a threat. And we've seen all of it on display here tonight.
3rd down from the 2-yard line, and Austin Rotman, all kinds of space. And he surges ahead for the touchdown. And right at the very end, under a minute and a half to go, and Rotman go ahead and get in from the backfield, and it's 44-10. Ardrey Kell just putting the extra mark on it.
The offensive line getting such a great push, and the key block there on that right side from number 76, Brandon Stoner, just shoving a defender back and creating that lane for the touchdown for Rotman.
It's kind of Rotman's drive there for the junior. Extra point. Up and good. Montecco hasn't missed one all night. 45-10 now. And Ardrey Kell can fully start the early celebration with 1:26 left. And again, this other story, I know we haven't seen him tonight, but Jack Mowry for Ardrey Kell, so great. We talked about this with head coach Greg Jackum, but Mowry lost his friend when he still was in Florida to cancer. It was David Kuntz, and once Mowry got here, thought about it, wanted to get the school to help him, so he's teamed up with Alex's Lemonade Stand, which raises so much money for cancer research, and they're raising money, a couple $1,000s and counting, and Greg Jackum, head coach for Ardrey Kell, is totally behind what Jack Mowry has done. It's really an inspirational story that garnered the attention of the Charlotte Observer is he's wanting to put a spotlight on his friend who was lost too soon.
He said after the first game he was looking to raise about $1,500. After the first game he had almost a fourth of that. So talking about Jack Lowry and number 59 for Ardrey Kell. And there's been, it's a heartbreaking story, but you turn that tragedy into triumph as much as you can, and making an impact for those in the future. And just really a heartwarming and touching story of how to turn the pain of losing a friend into something productive. And all the best to him in that endeavor.
Mallory and Coons were 13-year-old teammates down in Sarasota, Florida, and now one is gone, but the other carrying on that memory. And it's a great cause and something that's brought him a little bit of publicity as well, doing it for all the right reasons. Return here from Marvin Ridge will come out to the 25-yard line, and they can try to put something together here late, trying to hold on to the football with this final minute and change remaining.
If you do get a chance, check that story out written by Steve Little in the Charlotte Observer. Want to give Steve his flowers there. Just a story of family and friendship and football and turning something so heartbreaking into something that really results in a positive. And Mallory even mentioned that his teammates have been helping publicize the efforts as well.
Run up the middle for Marvin Ridge. Bring up second down.
Corey, I want to give you some flowers here tonight,
Thank you.
man. I'm gonna tell you why. You were in Virginia last night, calling a game, and you have another game tomorrow. So we need like a segment, cruising with Corey or something like that.
I got the miles to prove it.
You've been on the move, man. You've been on the move,
right?
And you've been traveling, man.
Yes, always. I'm fortunate to be able to be so busy over Labor Day weekend as well, and yeah, it's fun. It's great to do these. Great to work with you again, Armand, as well. Looking forward to our final 4 games of the season. Just getting started here tonight. Wanted to make one more final point too. Snap It with Jack for David Coons through Alex's Lemonade Stand. You can find that alexslemonade.org, and go ahead and type in Snap It with Jack Mallory, and it goes from now, August 19th it started, until November the 19th of this year, and you can go ahead and donate. As we get to triple zeros, and that's a final 45-10 as Ardrey Kell gets the Week 3 win over Marvin Ridge in a game that started positive Ardrey Kell. And I know with the exception of the touchdown by Gibbs in the third quarter when Marvin Ridge started to look a little bit different, Armand Brody, it was still Ardrey Kell, their kind of night to start Labor Day weekend.
It was Ardrey Kell in the beginning, Ardrey Kell in the middle, and Ardrey Kell in the end. And we saw Marvin Ridge, they switched some things up in the first half. They went to more of an option look, trying to get Rediger out on the edge, use his legs. But Ardrey Kell had this game in complete control with the interception by Watson, the pick 6 as well, the touchdowns from LeClaire, the effort from Morgan, the effort from Stankiewicz. It was an all-out team effort, and just like head coach Jackham said before the game, everything's clicking for us, and Lord knows it was clicking tonight again for the Knights of Ardrey Kell.
They go to 3-0, and that defense just keeps on coming. Our next matchup, Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series, powered by Ortho Carolina, coming up next Friday, September the 9th, when Butler takes on Myers Park, and that'll be back on the NFHS Network. Our Charlotte Rivalry Series, powered by Ortho Carolina, continues 1 week from tonight, and we are looking forward to that. Friday, September the 9th. Make sure to be with us. The best in Charlotte high school football. That's it for tonight, though, from South Charlotte. Ardrey Kell gets the big win over Marvin Ridge, 45-10. For Armand Brody, Jay Bell, everyone working with us here tonight. Such a great crew, and everyone does exactly as you would hope them to. It's a great crew that we'll be joined with next Friday as well. Ryan Strickland as well, working our replays, doing all that great work. It's a team effort. We'll be with you next Friday for our next Charlotte Rivalry Series, powered by Ortho Carolina. That's it tonight from Ardrey Kell. Until next Friday, this has been the Charlotte Rivalry Series, powered by Ortho Carolina. Good night from south of Uptown Charlotte.